Hey there, it's Kelly Lehman and Lucy Lehman, and today I'd like to tell you about some of my favorite flowers for your spring garden. If we haven't met yet, it's nice to meet you. My name is Kelly Lehman. I'm the owner of Cranberry Fields Flower Farm here in Cranberry, New Jersey, and I love giving you guys fun, free flower tips. So please feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the bell notification so you know whenever I post another fun, free flower tip video. This flower is called Clematis, and it's a beautiful flower and it climbs up high. But it's a good idea to plant the roots where there's some shade because apparently they like shade. Some people think that that's a myth. I don't think so. I have a little angel on top of my roots, and I know a lot of people plant them next to their mailboxes, and then the shade of the mailbox will cast some shade over those roots. Peonies are beautiful in a spring garden. These gals are a cross between herbaceous peonies and tree peonies, and some gardeners say that they can have up to 100 blooms on a mature plant. They're super low maintenance and they're just absolutely beautiful. Double daffodils are one of my absolute favorite flowers, and those of you that have watched my past videos know that I have rows and rows of these planted in the flower farm, and I love these because the rabbit and the deer leave them alone because they have something called lycorine that runs through their stems, and the critters seem to leave them alone because of that. So guys, sometimes I'll be out and I'll be in like a friend's garden, or I'll be someplace at like a public garden, and I'll find a plant that I don't know the name. So there's a terrific app that I found. It's called Garden Answers app, and they're actually sponsoring this video. So thank you so much, Garden Answers, for sponsoring this video. It's a super simple way to find out the names of some of those plants that you just don't know the names to yet. This app will also let you share and save the information that you find about the plant. What I also love about this app is that if there's a plant that you absolutely love that you've just discovered, you can buy the plant right from the app. They are linked to a lot of garden companies that will sell you plants directly online. So it's like one-stop shopping. You see a plant, you love it, you identify it, and then you can shop for it and it will be delivered for your own gardens. And you also get terrific garden tips that tell you how to take care of this plant and how to care for it in your own garden. So you're going to open the Garden Answers app on your phone. You're going to choose take a photo of your plant, and then you're going to take a photo. You're going to try to zoom in really close to it. It's best if they're well lit, and it's best if you do a close-up. I'm going to hit photo. I'm going to move it to scale. I'm going to make sure there's no background plants in back of me because that can get confusing. So just that one bloom. I'm going to choose it. And now it's sending it to Garden Answers, and let's see what they come back at. Okay, so it says that this is, an allium. So, wow, well done. Okay, so now I have the name, and it's called an allium, and this is really great. So if you have a question about alliums, or there's something that, you want to find out about them, you can ask a horticulturist. And this is terrific, guys. If you like that plant, you can go to Garden Answers Garden Shop, and you can take a look at some of the reputable plant sellers that sell this. So you can actually buy the plant right on the app. The Garden Answers app is free, but you can pay $1.99 to email a horticulturist directly and get answers to some of your more specific garden questions. And they often send lots of discounts for flowers and plants. There's a Facebook community called Garden Answers Q&A where you can discuss plant care and socialize with other plant enthusiasts. And I hope you enjoy the Garden Answers app as much as I do. And I will put a link to Garden Answers below so you can find out how to get it from the App Store. And then we're going to move on over to my lilac bushes. So these are what the white blooms look like, and the sweet fragrance that comes from lilac is like no other. It just smells like heaven. Lilacs are also super easy to grow in your gardens. We basically just put them in the ground a few years back, and I don't even fertilize them because lilacs don't like to be over-fertilized. If you do too much fertilizer, you may not get as many blooms as you could. So be careful with that. And basically, I just kind of put them in the ground. These gals just keep coming back year after year, and the same situation with the sun here. They prefer to be planted in full sun, but if you have a spot that gets at least 6 hours of sunlight and then some afternoon shade, that's fine too. They should still do pretty well. These guys have a lot of afternoon shade on them, just like the Snowball viburnum. And I want to show you something really cool with my purple lilacs that are right next door. They wind up spreading year after year. So underneath this major like mama plant, like right in the middle, there's all sorts of shoots that came off the plant. These are all just spreading out year after year, and it's all done by itself. And as a little side note, these are some Hellebores. These flowers are the first ones to bloom every spring, and they come in spectacular colors of purple and green, and they've got double blossoms, and some of them have single blooms, and they also spread by themselves every year. Super low maintenance, but they enjoy being planted in some partial shade. That's why I have them planted underneath this lilac bush. Now I want to take you for a walk over to where my azaleas are, so let's go take a walk to the back garden. I had some azaleas that were planted in the front of my house. They weren't doing very well, so we moved them. And this year I have these spectacular blooms that I haven't seen in the last 5 years because I had them planted in an area that was just getting too much sun and the soil wasn't so terrific. So we moved these gals a few weeks ago when they were dormant, and I want to show you what they look like now. This is where the azaleas are now, and they're blooming beautifully. And azaleas enjoy some partial shade, and they also like to have acidic soil. So azaleas come in all sorts of beautiful bright colors. They come in purples and whites and pinks. They're absolutely magnificent in a spring garden. So these are one of the other first to bloom flowering shrubs that you're going to find. And just a beautiful burst of color. Now the vase life for these flowers are not terrific, so they're best enjoyed just leaving them on the plant in your garden. And then these blooms will be in place for a few weeks, and then the blooms come off and they have beautiful green leaves. As you can see, the green leaves are starting to come through already. Alliums are another one of my all-time favorite flowers to grow in my spring garden. So these gals are deer resistant because they're from the onion family, and the deer don't like the taste of the onion. The same thing with the rabbits and some of the other critters. They don't like to chew on plants that taste like onions. These gals come back year after year, and you can either plant them as bulbs in the fall, or you can put them in the ground in springtime if they're actual plants. And it's a really good idea to go over to your garden centers and try to find some alliums that are on the clearance rack towards the end of spring, because the garden centers don't want to have to winter over plants like alliums and daffodils and tulips. So they're probably going to be on a huge discount rack, and if you pop them in the ground now, chances are they're going to come back for you next year and then year after year. So alliums give this beautiful burst of purple color with these green centers, and they're always a huge crowd pleaser in anyone's garden. Thank you so much for joining us in this video, and please feel free to say hi to us over on our Cranberry Fields Instagram channel, and please let us know where you're viewing this from in this great big beautiful world. I love to see how our flower tribe is growing around the globe each week, and please come say hi to us over on my Kelly Lehman's Flower Tribe Facebook group. There are gardeners from all over the world, and they're posting terrific garden questions and pictures of their own beautiful gardens, and they're answering each other's questions over there. So I so appreciate you guys showing up there and answering some of the questions that I can't get to each week. So I will see you in the next video.